Hey everybody, welcome to my first live stream. So my name is Jackie from eslspeaking.org, and yeah, I'm going to answer a few questions that people have, and then at the end of this live stream I'm going to announce a contest for next week. So if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to jump in the chat and ask me them, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. So yeah, let's get into, oh, As Above Productions. Hello, thanks for joining on the live chat. So the first question I had was from someone about university conditions for teaching English jobs in Korea. So they basically are teaching in China right now, and they have seen some job ads for uni jobs in Korea that have something like 24 or 26 teaching hours a week. And their question was just, is that normal, or is it more normal to say have like 10 or 12 teaching hours a week? So my answer to that is previously, like back in the day, I think universities in Korea struggled a little bit to find qualified teachers, and they had to offer quite good conditions, like similar to what the Korean professors would be getting. So something like 10 or 12 teaching hours a week, and you'd often get quite a good salary. You'd get incentives like free housing or quite a nice housing allowance, something like that. But yeah, these days there are just a ton of qualified teachers kind of floating around Korea. Like everyone seems to have an MA in TESOL and a bunch of years experience teaching, and it just makes it that much harder for people to get a good job. So so to that person who asked that question, it's more normal these days, and I think Korean jobs or Korean university jobs are going to become more similar to Hagwon jobs, where the standard is something like 30 hours a week, something like that. Okay, and all right, so the next question I had was from someone about doing the Celta and the Delta. So the Celta and the Delta are some of like the most reputable English teaching certifications in the world. So you've probably seen a bunch of those like 1 month long TEFL certificate kind of things. Of those, the Celta is by far the best. And then the Delta is kind of the next step beyond that. So their specific question was about doing the Celta in the UK and kind of what the costs are. So I had a quick look before the live stream, and it's something between about like 1,500, it's around 1,500 Great Britain pounds. So that ends up being about 2,000 USD. So that's pretty normal, I think. I did mine in Korea years and years ago in Seoul, and I ended up paying around that, I think around like 2,000 USD, or maybe just like even a little bit cheaper. But yeah, and then the Delta is a whole other thing. There are 3 different modules. So one of them is a comprehensive exam, which you can actually just study for on your own and just pay a few $100s to like take the test. I did a prep course for that. And then the other one was kind of this like comprehensive research paper, or I think you can do like a curriculum design or something like that. So that one you do have to pay some money, like $1,000 or whatever. And then the more expensive one is an in-person component. So that involves like supervised teaching. There might be kind of a hybrid model where you do some teaching and maybe film it, something like that. So all told, if you want to do the Celta and the Delta, I would say it'll probably cost you like maybe 5,000 USD for that, probably in almost any country. I think prices are not so dissimilar depending on the country that you're in. Oh no, sorry if it's quite loud, everyone. The garbage truck just pulled up outside my house. All right. Oh, Tammy, thanks for joining us. So Tammy asks, what was your favorite thing about teaching in Korea? That is a good question, and it's not that easy to answer because I actually had like a million things that I loved about teaching in Korea. For sure, the food, I think, is amazing. If you like spicy, garlic, ginger, onion, all that kind of thing, Korea is your place. And it was there that I began to like love fermented food, kimchi and all those other things. And yeah, so the food. And then I loved how Koreans are very like out in the world. They like love going out eating, drinking, going to karaoke, there's all these like little different kind of rooms. So like you can go to the screen golf place, or you can go play pool, or you can just do like anything, and people just have fun at night. They're just out and about. Compared to Canada, I mean, life is way more exciting in Korea than it is in Canada, and I really like that aspect of it. In Canada, people just, for whatever reason, just kind of like, you know, hanging at their houses or whatever, that kind of thing. I mean, you can go out, but it's like stuff shuts down pretty quickly. Um, what else did I love? I really like teaching. I mean, Korean students are very respectful and like cute and nice. And even my university students would always bring me like little presents on my birthday and on Teacher's Day, which actually happened to be the same, May 15th. In Korea. So I'd get so many presents, and they'd bring me a birthday cake and just like little snacks. And they knew I like coffee, so they'd bring me a coffee sometimes. And yeah, so I had a really good experience for sure with that. All right. Thanks, Dami, for that question. That was so good. And the next question that I had from someone was about doing an MA TESOL and whether or not that will help them get a university job in Korea. I think like years ago, you could kind of get away with an MA in like basket weaving or just like whatever you wanted, basically anything, and that was good enough. As I mentioned to the previous person, there's so many qualified teachers around Korea these days, and everyone's kind of fighting for a very limited number of the best university jobs. So definitely an MA TESOL will help you get your foot in the door. And you'll definitely will have an advantage over people who just have like an MA in something unrelated. If you have an eye to go back to your home country, though, I would almost recommend an MA in something like education related, because you can, yeah, hopefully move into like the public school system in your own country more easily with an MA education something. And if you're a certified teacher, then you could with an MA in TESOL. So it kind of just depends on your plan. If you're going to teach abroad forever, then do an MA TESOL. But if you want to go back to your home country, then an MA in education might be better. All right. So the next question that I have was also about getting a university job, and the person wanted to know whether experience teaching kids would kind of count towards the requirement. So Korean university jobs will often have a requirement that says like you need an MA plus 2 years teaching experience to adults. So this person is wondering if they're in a high school or middle school, whether or not that would count. And the answer, unfortunately, is no. I know it can be quite difficult. It's kind of like a catch-22, but universities are looking for university experience. There are enough qualified teachers that actually probably have that requirement when they're doing interviews, so it's not that easy. But how can you kind of get around that? One way is to work at like an adult hagwon of some kind. So just get some experience teaching adults outside of the university environment. The second thing you can do is preferably teach high school if possible. If some university is kind of desperate and they maybe really like your other qualifications, or they love you did a great interview or something like that, you can kind of slip in there maybe with some high school experience. Often there will be, if they allow that, they'll kind of say like 4 years of high school equals 2 years of university experience teaching adults, something like that. All right. All right, any other questions? All right. Sounds good. So I just wanted to announce something for next week. I'm going to do a live stream next week, so definitely get your questions in. If you hear them, just drop me a comment on this video and I will definitely answer next week. And I'm going to also announce a contest. I'll be giving away one of my books, and it will be super easy to enter and mostly painless, 100% painless actually. All right, so thanks for joining my first ever live stream. Thanks for all your questions, everyone, and thanks for dropping in. All right, I will catch you next time, everybody. Take care. Bye.